Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back with another video. This time, I'm just gonna kind of give a quick glimpse of like the little things you can do in Warframe if you were ever just looking to kind of check it out, to keep going because like you haven't played in a while. There's a few things to do, so we'll take a look at the codex. There's tons of quests. Honestly, there's actually a decent story. It's pretty cool if you haven't done it. Um, I've done most of them now. Some of them are for Warframes, so like Patient Zero, Limbo Theorem, Wave Rider, George's Precept, all for Warframes. Some of them are the main story, so Veilbreaker, The War Within, stuff like that, Second Dream. Those are the main story. I don't have the Mask of the Revenant unlocked because I don't have Observer ranked with the Quills, and I have to talk to some dude on Cetus. But you have these to do, and if you're just starting, you're going to want to get a start on these pretty quickly because there's a lot that unlocks through doing the main story. Next, we can look at the universe. So you have your Warframes. There's a ton of them. So you want to try to get all of them because that goes towards your mastery level. Like mine's 25. Well, I've leveled a lot of things. These little laurels, I think is what they're called. I don't know. But that means I've leveled them at least once. I say at least once because there's these things called formas that you'll need to make a Warframe better. And that resets your level every time, so you have to level it back to 30 again. It's worth doing if you have a Warframe that you like. I've done it with a lot of them. You should absolutely do it. And that's another thing, leveling. You're going to be leveling a lot in this game because everything has a level. Warframes, vehicles, companions, weapons, all of those have levels. So you're going to do it a lot. There are companions you can get, and they're all obtained in different ways. So, like the Gavat, you need DNA samples. You get the DNA samples in the. Oh, it's like the Void area. I forget the exact name. It might actually be called the Void. I'm not 100%, but that's how you get the Kavat samples. Kubros, you can get the eggs off of Earth. You have to hatch those. Vulpaphylas and Predacites, they're from Deimos, I think is what it's called. The Moas are from the second open world area. It's like I think it's on Jupiter or Neptune. I cannot remember the name of that either, but you'll see what I'm talking about when you start to go for them. I'll do more in-depth kind of guide on these things later. And then weapons, there's a ton of weapons, like so many weapons. You'll have to get parts of some of them. You'll have to get materials for them. So if there's a weapon you want, look it up, find out how to get it, and start going for it. I personally suggest if you're just starting out, try to get primes as fast as possible. So a prime of each weapon type. You have melee, you have primary, and you have secondary. Get a prime of each weapon type. It's just a good start. And then also a prime Warframe. Again, it's a good start. But getting a prime Warframe might take a little bit of time. So if, like, say you picked Excalibur, get your Excalibur to a decent level to where it can actually help in the missions for prime parts. These prime parts are only accessible through relics, which I'll show you real quick, from this thing called, well, Void Relics. You will have to unlock this. You will not just have access to this. So I have a ton of them. And there's people who have more than me. But when you're just starting out, you need to do the main missions to unlock this. So what I suggest is getting a base Warframe you like. So if you like Excalibur, you're already good to go because that's one of the first ones you can grab. If you like Mag, same thing. And if you like Volt, same thing. They're all decent. Granted, their prime versions are better, but they are all decent. Leveling them does not hurt because you'll be able to put them in this thing called the helminth at some point, and that takes one of their abilities, and the game chooses for you, and makes it to where you can put it on a different Warframe. So say you like the ability you're gonna get from we'll just say Wisp, from Wisp, which if you're new, you probably don't know too much about Wisp, but Wisp is a pretty good Warframe, a good support frame. She has the ability called Breach Surge. Breach Surge is very useful and absolutely worth grabbing. So you would put it in the helminth, and then you would click on it, and you would have to feed your helminth to then put it onto a different Warframe. And you would replace one of their abilities. It's up to you. There are some things that that are worth getting rid of. Like there's an ability on Korra. It's called Venari. You can get rid of it and you keep Venari, which is your pet. So Korra has a pet on top of the companion that you can put on. So you can get rid of the ability to command the pet and put something else on. In my case, I have Spectro Rage, which is from Gara. Now, you cannot feed primes to the helminth, so leveling up the base Warframes is a good idea, because you'll get the mastery from it. You don't have to level them up to put them in the helminth, by the way, but you will get the mastery from it. Then you can actually feed it to the helminth if you want to put it on the prime Warframe that you want to put it on, or to put it on a different Warframe in general. So it's worth leveling Warframes, not just for mastery, but you're going to feed them to a helminth eventually. You might as well just level them. That's my opinion. It's up to you. So, focus on that for a while. You're going to do the quests and getting a lot of the parts and stuff for a while. Later on, as you kind of get more established, you'll go for Kuva Liches. These give you special weapons. They get leveled up to level 40 eventually. So it starts at level 30, you level it up, then it's technically max. Then you put a form on it, it's then 32. Put a form on it, 34, form on it, 36, 38, 40. And 40 is the actual max of it. So these weapons are pretty powerful. So show you what a lich looks like. So like this lich, it has what's called the Kuva Brahma. So these are Kuva weapons. They come with a bonus status chance on them, and they have a chance to have what's called an ephemera. The ephemera is just something that looks cool. You don't need it. It's just an appearance thing. I personally like them. I think they're kind of cool. I've gotten a few of them, but even if you don't want the weapon, it's worth getting the ephemera, because why not? This game is all about grinding. So you might as well, get the appearance you like, get the weapons you like, and keep going. And then something I haven't even done, as I haven't encountered any, is the Sisters of Parvos. These have what are called tenant weapons. I'll show you some of those. Let's go here. Tenant. So these weapons are special versions of other weapons, just like the Kuvas, or the Kuva weapons. And they're really good. Absolutely want to try to get them, but this is more of a late game thing to do. So if you're new, don't worry about this, at least not for right now. I would probably worry about it more when you have more things established. So when you have a prime that's pretty decked out, when you have a prime of everything that's pretty decked out, basically you're looking to be able to help your team. So there's tons of primes of everything. Get your prime. That's a good start. Get your prime of each thing, and it's a very solid start. So look into the Warframes you want, look into the weapons you want, and see if, they're worth getting. To be honest, they're all going to be worth getting just for the mastery. But you may not like them. I have tons of weapons I don't like, but I still have leveled. It's worth leveling, because getting your mastery up unlocks more things for you. So you might as well do it. Then there's also factions. So you do have reputations in this. It's pretty cut and dry. I mean, most of it is really just doing things in the areas, or doing things for your specific faction. Like I'm I'm exalted with Red Veil and a general with Steel Meridian. These will get you special offerings, so like mods, which is another thing you can farm for. These ones you cannot technically farm for, but you can get your rep up to get these mods. So I guess in a way you are farming for them. Not necessarily the same way, but you are farming for them. So there's also special weapons from them, like the Rakta Dark Dagger, Rakta Ceranos, and Rakta Ballistica. Again, worth leveling, not always necessarily worth using. But these mods, not always the best, but they do augment certain abilities on your Warframe. So they are worth getting. So farm the rep to get these, and you'll have a pretty good set of mods. Now, will you use them all the time? No. In fact, I would say most of the time you don't end up using them. I personally am going to buy this Rakta Ballistica because I need more mastery for really no reason, but I want it. So, you can also get Exilus weapon adapters. Not necessary, good to get. There's tons of rep in this game. There's also little things like you can decorate your ship, and there is an apartment now. I do have one myself. I'll show you that in a moment. But like you see these little plushies, you get those by hunting animals in the open world areas. This thing is from the main story. We have our it's called, I forgot what it's called. Let me see. I think it tells me. Railjack. It's called a railjack. So this is your giant spaceship. You do go on like space missions, and you'll use your I cannot remember what anything's called. You'll use your like Amisha. I cannot think of what this is called though. But I use the Amisha. You have the Odonata, the Elytron, Itzel, Odonata Prime. Eventually you'll see that you can get these things called Void Rigs and the Bone Widow. These are basically ancient Warframes in the story. A little bit of a spoiler, sorry about that. But you'll see there. It's actually kind of cool to learn about. I personally don't care for them too much. I think they're just not as cool as the Warframes. But you will have to get them eventually, and they're worth using. They're really good. They're just, in my opinion, I like the Warframes more. Next is the mission types. So we have assassination, capture, defense, excavation, exterminate, hijack, rescue, recovery, mobile defense, invasion, interception, hive sabotage, sabotage, spy, survival, cephalon capture, annihilation, team annihilation, lunaro, and railjack. All of these mission types you will probably do at least once or twice. The main ones that I do tend to be survival and defense, and exterminate, because they're simple. Defense, I can literally just be on Korra, put on my giant chain prison thing, and sit there. Frost can put on his giant frost bubble and just sit there. Survival, you can kind of do the same thing, but they're constantly coming instead of in waves. And exterminate is obviously just kill everything. So, assassination is a boss. Capture, you have to capture one enemy while fighting off others. It's very, very simple. Excavation is kind of like a defense, but you're running from place to place, protecting these drills that are trying to get what's called chaotic. And it is something you will need, so it's worth doing. Hijack, I don't like these, but they take your shield, and it's an escort mission. You have to be using your shield to escort the thing. So take something with a big shield like Hildren. Hive sabotage, you're gonna destroy, hives basically. They're like little pustules that you destroy. That one's not bad. Interception, it's like a capture the point. It's not terrible if you have multiple people playing. If it's just you, it kind of sucks. Invasion. I'm not 100% sure on what invasion is. Ah, okay. It's where two factions are fighting, and you're just going to end up fighting both of them while doing your objective. They will give you a random objective. Typically, it's exterminate. Mobile defense is like excavation, but with set points instead of, go here, then go there, then go here, then go there, then go here. Excavation is endless. Mobile defense is only 3. Recovery. I assume you're rezzing someone. I've done it. I'm sure. I don't remember it though, so I don't know. Rescue. You're escorting someone, but it's really easy. You can literally just leave them and get to the end. As long as you make it to the end, you're fine. But they do have to live, so if they go down, you will have to go back and res them. Typically, they won't go down though. Sabotage. You're destroying a certain thing. So it's just one objective. You destroy it. Maybe you repower it in a certain way. Sabotage is interesting. It's not bad. It's kind of fun. Spy is terrible. I hate spies because it's a stealth mission, as you would assume for a spy mission. I've already went over survival. Cephalon capture. I don't think I've done that one, but if I have, I think I know what it is. Let's see. Bring an opponent cephalon to your own cephalon and it'll capture. Oh. This looks to be PvP, so I have not done it. Annihilation, I'm guessing, is also PvP. Yep, it's PvP. Team Annihilation is also PvP. So PvP in this game is pretty abysmal. It doesn't really exist in my experience. Maybe it does now. Maybe I'm missing something, but I have not seen it. So Lunaro looks like that's also PvP. And railjack is your space missions. And those ones vary. So those are kind of like all the base things to do. Like I said, with the decorating, as you can see, I have like a little pet here, a little poster there. You'll unlock this room in your spaceship. You can put the fish you fish up in it, which, by the way, there is fishing. You can display certain Warframes, more plushies, bobbleheads. You will get bobbleheads. And yes, I can go show you the apartment real quick. So let's go here. And so first off, this is the map. You will have to do every single mission on each map at some point. Just do it. Especially if you're new, just get it done. Because you will have to do it. So what I'm about to do though, I'm going to go to the Zariman. This is a newer zone. I don't want to call it open world because it's really not. But it has a lot of missions, and there's a lot of cool stuff in it. This is where we also got our first, look at technical housing. So I'm going to show you my apartment just so you can kind of get a glimpse of something to work towards on the Zariman. This video's already been kind of going for a little bit, but I feel like it's just a quick explanation of everything. So we'll go over here, and then we go in here, and we have our little apartment. I haven't decorated mine much, but you absolutely can decorate yours quite a bit. As you can see, I have more bobbleheads here. It's just like your spacecraft. You can decorate, kind of a lot. And then this one costs a lot of rep, but you can display multiple Warframe in here. So like I have my Saren, my Garuda, my Titania, and my Mirage all being displayed. You can also look outside the ship and get a kind of cool view. You can actually change it if you had the plat. So it's pretty cool. I thought it was a neat little addition. It's nothing crazy, but it's cool. I thought it was neat. Again, it's nothing crazy. It's just a little apartment, and it's something for more customization. That's really what it is. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. And you go to this elevator, you're going to go to the main hub of the Zariman, I believe. Well, this elevator takes a while apparently. Yeah, so we'll go to the main hub, and like you could talk to this person, browse Normazone items. So you can buy a bunch of housing stuff, pretty cool stuff. I mean, nothing insane, but there's some decent stuff. That's where you'll get that Vista Suite key. You got more scenes. You have some, these are called adornments, maybe? They're called void shells. These will put different textures on your Warframe, and they're kind of worth it. Not all of them. Some of them are stupid as hell, but most of them are pretty cool. So worth getting them. This is also where you can get what are called evolving weapons. I have gotten 3 of them, and I've maxed 3 of them. I don't know if they've added more. I don't think they have, but let's see. I haven't played in a little while, so maybe. It looks like they might have. Okay. All right, so they did add a couple more. I have the Fenmore, the Latum, and the Praetos. I need to get the Inodem and the Felarks and level those as well. There's some ephemera blueprints, which are totally cool, worth getting. Amp Arcane Adapter, and some more Arcanes. These are worth getting because they boost your power in one way or another. So you want to try to get these, figure out which one you like, and just try it out. It doesn't matter. You're going to be farming all the time. You're going to be grinding all the time. That is what this game is. So find the stuff that you like, find what works for you, and go from there. If you don't like it, that's fine. Look up some builds. Maybe you'll figure out what you like by trying those out. That's how I make my builds. I try out builds I find online and kind of experiment with different things to see what works for me. Now, sometimes the build that I picked is the build to go with. It doesn't always happen, but it's the one that I find works best. Now, I do experiment quite a bit because I'm trying to find the best build for you guys, for me. And most of my builds are, honestly, they're for people who are not very good at builds, including myself. It'll get you through, the main stuff. Now, will it get you through Steel Path? For most of it, I would say yes. Will it get you through a survival where the enemies are max level? No. You'll probably die. I'm just going to be honest. You will probably die doing that. But they're fun. My builds are for fun. I'm just enjoying the game. I'm not trying to push any crazy new survival record or anything. I'm just enjoying the game. I'm just grinding. I'm just getting the stuff I like. So that's what you'll see from me. You'll see where to get resources. You'll see all that stuff. I do need to update a lot of my videos with that, but you'll see all that stuff. Also, you have Nightwave missions. These are like your battle pass missions. They're worth doing. It's all free. They're not usually hard, so I would just say do them. You'll be able to mine at some point as well on some of the, or I think on all of the zones actually, all the open world zones. You have what's called a foundry. This is where you build your parts. They do take time, so keep that in mind. You can speed them up with platinum, which is the premium currency, which you can earn in game. With mods, you can sell them to other people for platinum, or you can sell parts like prime parts to people with platinum. There's also these things called ribbons. These are like super enhancements to specific weapons that you get them for. So that's where the missions called sorties come in. So we go here. This is Endgame. So if you're new, you'll get to this eventually, but not right now. And you'll have to do these 3 missions, and you'll get a possible chance at a ribbon or an Oracle Catalyst or Reactor. You'll get a chance at all this stuff. There's also Archon Hunt. I haven't done that yet, so that's actually still going to be new to me. but that is definitely endgame. On the Zariman, you hunt these things called angels. They are worth hunting because they get you things for rep, they get you things for special items. They're worth getting. Um, there's just so much to do. It's actually kind of crazy. Oh, and I was wrong. It wasn't Neptune or Jupiter. It was Fortuna on Venus. I don't know how I got that so mixed up earlier. So sorry about that. Cetus is on Earth, and then you have Deimos on its own and Zariman on its own. Those are your newer zones. Cetus and Fortuna, those are older open world zones that you still will want to do. Deimos is the newest open world zone aside from technically the Zariman, but I don't consider that open world. But yeah, there's a ton. With Kuva Lich, you'll see this little red aura. That means this is where your Lich is. This is where you farm what are called murmurs. This is basically you trying to find your Lich. And once you find your Lich, you're going to use they're like runes. They're special mods for what's called your Parazon. You put them in here, and eventually you'll figure out exactly which one goes where. But you have to find your Lich a couple of times to figure it out. So, or you get the amount of murmurs. Either way, one way or the other, you'll figure it out. And that's how you get your Kuva weapon. The tenant weapons, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't done anything on. You can see these mods are how you make the builds. You'll need a lot of them, and it's going to take a lot of time. Arcanes, same thing. You'll need a lot of them. It's going to take a lot of time. Those are from what's called Eidolon hunting. That is an end game thing as well. It's worth doing. It's also another way to get plat. So definitely take the time to do it. I haven't done it a whole lot, and I kind of wish I would have, but it's worth doing. So everything else, it's just all stuff that comes with time. And there's also focus farming, which I don't know if they nerfed that. I can't remember, but you'll get your operator, and you get these things called focus. You will need this. This is stuff that helps you, to be honest. So you go like here, we'll look at Nariman. So melee combo counter now decays while out of combat by 10 to 5 every few seconds instead of depleting completely. That's just from leveling the thing up. That's it. You're just getting focused to level these abilities up. So I'd say it's worth it. I haven't done it a lot, and I should have, but I didn't. So, that's my own doing. But I mean, there's so much to do, and I feel like I'm even missing things, and I'm sure someone will comment saying, oh, you forgot about this, or you forgot about that, or what about this? And if I forgot, totally fine. Let the people know, what I missed, because there's a lot. I mean, I guess I kind of forgot Fashion Frame, which is, its own thing, I guess. So like how my Korra looks is actually a skin. Korra normally looks like that. The helmet's different too. But I have a skin on her, so different. But I also have a different helmet, and I have specific colors. You'll get a lot of them for free, but there's also some that you could buy if you really want to. You don't have to, but you can. Sindanas, that's like the wings I have. So there's a bunch of Sindanas. If you have this on Steam, I don't know if it works on the consoles, but on Steam you can get workshop items. So like these wings are from the workshop. They just cost a set amount, like money wise. They are not actually plat. You can't use plat to get them, but they're still pretty cool. You have attachments, which are like these little things on my leg here. You have ephemeras, like I talked about before. They kind of like go around you or on your back or just like certain parts. Like I have an orbital one. I have a nine-tail fox thing, bats. I mean, there's a lot. I even just have angel wings. So there's a lot. So, I mean, take the time, do what you want to do, see what you like, and just go for it. That's all I can really say. There's a ton to do. So, you'll have to figure out a lot of it on your own, what you want to do. But sometimes it gets overwhelming. And honestly, I've quit before because I start up and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. Because there's just too much to do. And it's all the same type of thing. It's all grinding, but there tends to be too much going on sometimes for me to want to do it. It becomes overwhelming, and it's very unfortunate, but it does happen. But would I recommend Warframe? I would. If you're new, I hope this helped you. If you're a veteran, I highly doubt that this did anything for you, but maybe there was some things you didn't know about. But this is very simple stuff. This is really for new players, and I do hope it helps. You know, it's stuff I kind of wish I knew in the beginning because I didn't know any of this in the beginning. In fact, when I first started, a lot of this stuff was not here. So, you know, as time went on, obviously it became a thing. But I do wish I knew a lot of this stuff when I started. So hopefully I helped you guys. With that, you know, good luck with the RNG gods, and hopefully you'll get more assistance from my later videos, which are updates on where to get more resources, updates on setups for Warframes and weapons. Hopefully my channel can help you guys. I do play other games on my channel, and I try to help in all of them. I tend to do guides. That's what I like to do. That's honestly something I enjoy. So I try my best. Hopefully I can continue to help you guys if this even helped you. But yeah, keep an eye out for the next video. With that being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.